Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies.
Fresh off the presses right here, man. The Saints will be releasing Marcus Maye. Everybody's reporting it right now. It's pretty official. The Saints have informed Marcus Maye that he will be released. Interesting. Very, very interesting. His second year with the Saints, it hasn't been, the greatest thing, but he hasn't been awful by any stretch of the imagination. But this one doesn't surprise me. A guy that's kind of getting older at the safety position. Safety position is kind of easy to replace. Signed to a pretty decent contract when he originally signed. He was coming off an Achilles injury, which scared me initially. Then he got in some trouble off the field. So this doesn't surprise me one bit with the Saints, man. Obviously, they're going to have to try to maneuver, get under the cap. We'll talk about the cap numbers and things like this. But just from a football standpoint, I don't think this hurts the Saints much at all. Just because that safety position for the Saints has been fluid. Guys have stepped in and looked good in it. We can just take a quick look at the depth chart real quick, and let's just look at the guys that stepped up this past season. Obviously, you got Tyrann Mathieu at one of the safety positions, had a really, really good season. Now we released Marcus Maye. You got Jonathan Abram, who stepped up, and he played well when he was out there. Obviously, you got Jordan Howden, a guy we drafted late, looked good when he played. He's probably the #1 guy to replace him right now. Maybe, they look into the draft with a high draft pick to draft a safety, or maybe you just ride it out with Howden. You got Ugo Amadi, who I think played really, really well when he was out there. He kind of played in that slot position, so he really kind of played that nickel with Alontae Taylor when Alontae was getting benched and things like that. Ugo went out there and took some of that and played that role. Don't know if he can play in a role as Marcus Maye, but that role is kind of interchangeable with the Saints, so we'll see. I still think Alontae Taylor's best position is at safety, in my opinion, or outside corner. Just don't think the nickel is for him. So we'll see what the Saints do. It's very, very early in this process. The draft stuff is starting to get underway, but they will be releasing Marcus Maye. Let's look at some of the stats for Marcus Maye when he was here for the Saints. Now, obviously, games played is a big issue. Games played is a huge, huge issue. And you look at the first season with the Saints, man, at 29 years old, only played 10 games. Played 10 games, that's not going to get it done. A guy that signed a deal, you just can't. You can't play 10 games. I'm sorry. You just can't play 10 games. Had 60 tackles, 42 solo, 18 assists. No tackles for loss, no quarterback hits. He's not really a guy that's going to rush the passer. And then this past season, only played 7 games. Like I said, had a lot of things going on off the field, injuries, things like that. You just can't have that at the price tag he's at. Only played 7 games. I started all 7. Only finished with 37 tackles, 27 solo. Like you can't bring that. And let's just look at the rookie, for Saints. We got Jordan who didn't even play, that much for the Saints. And we'll just pull up his stats real quick. Compared to Marcus Maye. Yeah, he played in 7 games, 43 tackles, 23 solo, 20 assists. That's really, really good from a rookie. A guy that's playing in games, started 7 games in his replacement. So I mean, they basically had the same year. One's 23, one's 30, and obviously one contract is going to be much bigger than the other. Now, also, other than that, we'll take a look at this contract. Now, obviously, the Saints are really, really good with the contract. If you read right here, it's a potential out. He basically signed a 2 years, $14 million with a potential out $8.4 million dead cap. That's probably going to hit. I'm not sure exactly what the dead cap is going to be, but it's going to be something. So that out was always going to get used. He signed a 3-year, $22 million contract, only $14 million guaranteed in those first 2 years. So this was an obvious play. This was a very, very obvious play that he was probably going to get cut from the Saints and become a free agent. He's got some void years in there, so some of those cap things will roll over. And you can take over the cap for a better understanding of the cap. Right now, if he's just cut right now, it says 1.1 million. 1.1 million, and you got 8.4 million in dead cap. That is if he's cut pre-June. I don't know if it's specified when the Saints gonna cut him. But if he's cut right now, it says $1.19 million in cap, 8.4 million in dead money. Now, obviously, you can play with this, and then you can go cut post-June. Now, you save $7 million in cap, I believe. $7.2 million in cap, and it's $2.4 million in dead money, but it's also, more dead money throughout the rest of the year. So basically, this is going to be a post. I mean, you just look at the numbers. It makes no sense for it not to be a post-June 1st cut. In my opinion, you're going to save $7 million, only be $2 million dead cap, but it'd be $2.4 million for the next 3 years. But I think that's doable. With the cap going up each year, I think that's doable. So I'm assuming that the Saints are going to save $7.2 million in space. If they decide to go the other route, it's because Kai Harvey knows more than me when it comes to this. I couldn't tell you why. Maybe they're just crunching numbers and like something, pre-June. I just personally couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you why. So I'm just going to assume we're going to get 7.2 million more in cap space, getting close to that zero number. I'm sure they're going to clear more guys out, but Marcus Maye will not be back. And we can't be shocked. Like I said, anytime you want to check these guys' contracts out, you can always check these guys' contracts out. Spotrac, that's basically the best. That's the best one. It'll let you know there's potential out. That's really big for most NFL players. They usually have a potential out. The team is probably going to take that out. Unless you got like Patrick Mahomes or somebody that's really, really, really outplaying his contract, then obviously they'll keep him. Like, let's just imagine Marcus Maye was playing as well as, whoever you want to name, one of the best safeties in the league right now. Then obviously you're not going to, take that out. You're probably going to, bring him back for the next year unless you're just not, can't do it with the cap. So this was kind of always expected. Was kind of waiting for this news. Going to save some money on this. And I don't think we're going to lose anything football. It's bad when you start to lose people for cap situations, but it doesn't really, benefit you on the football side. You kind of lose some of the football thing. This one, I think benefits the cap and doesn't hurt the football. So you can always help the cap out and, not hurt the football team. That's what you want to do. That's what the Saints did right here. And it's interesting. They did meet with a couple safeties in the draft process, but I'm not looking into that because you're going to meet with every position. You're going to meet with every position from quarterback to kicker to fullbacks to long snappers probably. So that doesn't, show me anything. And I highly doubt the Saints will be taking a safety in the first round. That would just be very idiotic, in my opinion. You take a safety in the first round. You can find a really, really good safety mid-round that can start for your team for many years. Look at Howden. He was, I think a 6th-round pick this past season and played very, very well for the Saints. So don't think we'll be taking one in the first round, but safety is a position to look at, and we'll see what we do. We'll see what we do. It's many more things to come. I think it's some big decisions coming up on players, and we'll just see what they do. I won't speculate. I won't guess. Last offseason, I did all that. And I don't even want to go down that road because I feel like Dennis Allen got the chance to do everything he wanted and it didn't work out. So, hey, here we are again. Part 2 of them doing everything they want, signing the players they want, and let's just see how it works out. Let's just see how it works out. It didn't work out last year. This is year 3. Let's see how it works out. He got his offensive coordinator. He's got everything. He's got rid of everybody from the Sean Payton era for the most part except himself. And we'll see how this works out. But Marcus Maye will be released, and we'll see how it goes, man. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, as always, this is the Boot Tragedies.